Our special guest is a mentalist, recognized all over the world for his groundbreaking work on body language and influence techniques. He is also an award-winning broadcaster, best-selling author, and consultant to some of the biggest names in magic. Please welcome Eric Samuels.
I use psychology, suggestion, and stagecraft to anticipate and influence behavior. Let me demonstrate.
We booked Eric to speak at one of our conventions with a group of delegates that are really kind of jaded. It's a tough crowd, and they loved him. In fact, he was the only one that got a standing ovation. We liked him so much that the next year we booked him again. He did brand new material, and it was equally as good.
So during our time together, I'm going to share some stories and even a few secrets from the worlds of psychology, magic, and con artist to demonstrate how to shift our perspective and see challenges in a way that we'd never before considered.
I've been to quite a few conventions in my business, and Eric was one of the best that I've ever seen. It was engaging, it was entertaining, I found it to be quite funny, and there was information that I took out of that, being a sales manager, that I could take back to my team and that we could use in the field, which was very beneficial.
I know what you're thinking. It must be a trick. Well, yeah, it's a card trick. I said so a moment ago. A trick that exploits a flaw in the cognitive process and demonstrates what happens when your brain jumps to conclusions and makes assumptions. Now, I'm going to make a bit of an assumption here that there might be one or two people who already know this card trick. So why don't we get everyone on the same page by pulling back the curtain and revealing how this card trick works, and more importantly, why this card trick works.
Not only was he entertaining, but we were able to take specific information that he had and apply it to our day-to-day business.
And the moral of the story is, even the most seemingly insurmountable roadblocks can be overcome if we look at them from a different perspective. If we think outside the box. You've heard that old cliche, right? You gotta think outside the box. But why do we create boxes in the first place? Well, to bring order to chaos. I can safely say that nothing in my career over decades as a manager helped me to transition the mindset from manager to leader than this set of cards.
Fantastic show, enlightening and a ton of fun.
Great takeaway value and memory retention skills, and incredibly entertaining.
Part of the key to all of this, I think there's some real misconceptions about reading nonverbal communication. For instance, if you don't make eye contact, it means you're lying. That's not necessarily true. If you look to the right, you're thinking of old information, or the left, new. Not necessarily so. The key is to establish a baseline of behavior, and then look for anomalies, things that are inconsistent. This is what we technically call the grin of guilt. You were well raised, and you knew you were about to tell a lie, but you didn't really want to, so you could just give us the white ball and take your seat. Give him a nice round of applause. Research shows that the average adult human being lies 13 times a day.
Who's researching this? You?
Well, statistically speaking, there's a high probability that what I just said was a lie.
I feel like it is.
I've seen Eric twice now, and both times he leaves me, scratching my head. I love it. It's great.
The presentation was terrific, and the last trick, I can't imagine how he could have possibly done it. It blows me away. Because David Bowie understood that creativity is not an exact science. What if I told you that your unconscious brain already knows the value, the number on the other side, on the face of this card? What you're looking at is a dirty little secret of the unscrupulous. This is a marked playing card for purposes of cheating using a technique known as juice. Now, a juice deck of playing cards can pass the scrutiny of an entire table of professional card players, because here's the thing, you can't see it by consciously looking for it. Could you tell everyone the famous person speaking to the microphone that you've been thinking of? Go ahead. Elvis Presley. When an infant is first learning to walk, it will fall an average of 50 times. And at no point in the process does that child ever think, man, this is too hard, I give up.
Now it's in our DNA to get up, to try again until we finally take those first few steps successfully.
Yeah, it's a show you won't forget, and you'll be telling everybody you know for weeks to come.
Tell me if this makes any sense.
Oh my gosh.